Hey guys, Anthony here, Bibles and Barbells. It is Thursday, March 19th, 2020. Today's video, we're going to review an article from the New American online here. I'll put the link in the description box. It's entitled, Fears Over Coronavirus Pandemic Driving Up Gun Sales. Buyers are concerned about protecting themselves and their property from looters, as well as the possibility that government may crack down on gun rights. And so that's what this article is going to talk about, what's driving up gun sales. As COVID-19 taking center stage around the globe, Americans are becoming increasingly fearful of the coronavirus, with their fears exacerbated by mass hysteria being generated by the media and various health organizations around the world. Panic has prompted shoppers to buy more items than otherwise, creating more demand for food, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Empty shelves have Americans turning to the Second Amendment, concerned that looting may become an eventuality. Gun stores across the country have experienced an increase in gun and ammunition sales. According to Fox News, the FBI's universal background check system has seen a 34% increase since February, when the news first began breaking of the virus in Wuhan, China. In January, background checks increased 25% as people began to see the writing on the wall. As of March 15th, firearm sales through dealers has increased 17% nationwide. Associated Press notes some of the sales are from first-time gun buyers. This lady by the name of Betsy Terrell, a 61-year-old resident of Decatur, Georgia, purchased a handgun for the first time after witnessing long lines and panic-driven people at her local Costco, she told Associated Press. Betsy says, I was beginning to see people acting oddly. I talked about that the other night. People acting oddly. That was a little unnerving, she said. I feel there's potential political upheaval. It's scary. It's only now I felt this overwhelming need to arm myself, to protect myself. So people like Betsy, there's many like her, I'm sure, that are feeling that overwhelming need to protect themselves, to go out and exercise their Second Amendment rights. And she's a first-time gun buyer. The spikes in sales range from 20 to 400%, Fox News reports. Even body armor requests have seen an increase in some places, underscoring the fears of mass riots as the response to coronavirus continues to become more draconian. Firearms and ammunition sales are strong this week as many gun stores are quickly trying to restock inventory. There has been an uptick in inquiries for firearms training as families seek guidance on the selection, use, and storage of a new firearm. Robin Sandoval, 45, executive director of Austin-based Our Girl and a Gun Women's Shooting League, told Fox News. Law-abiding Americans want to have access to firearms during times of uncertainty. Families are social distancing and stocking up on food and supplies at home. The outbreak is creating a lot of anxiety in our communities. Families who have prepared at home want to be equipped to protect themselves from any looters or violence. Are you hearing the same lines over and over again? Looters, violence. That's what should be going on in your mind right now as you put a plan together to protect yourself and your loved ones. Jeff Knox, the Firearms Coalition, made similar observation, stating that buyers appear to be focused on home defense. But like with the food and toilet paper, there is now a growing concern that the supply will be unable to meet the demand for firearms, cautioned Eric Poole, editor of Guns and Ammo magazine. That percentage is expected to increase before the end of March dramatically. Firearms retailers and manufacturers were not prepared to meet the surge or a sustained long-term demand, so firearms and ammunition will seem to be largely absent from dealer shelves in the weeks to come. So now is your time to go out. There's a small window still open, guys. Poole warned. If firearms and ammunition manufacturers throughout the U.S. are required to keep their workforce at home, this will have a more profound effect and drive up prices to include private transfers of firearms and ammunition which are not monitored or recorded by the NICS system. Frank Miniter, editor-in-chief of the NRA's America's First Freedom magazine, contends the increase in sales is common during a crisis. During national emergencies, gun and ammunition sales go up. This is a practical thing. Self-reliance is what communities rely on, he said. The rise in gun sales is practical nature of Americans coming out. Chris Parnto, former U.S. defense contractor, Army Ranger, and owner of Battle Line Tactical, contends that spike in sales is triggered not only by fears of looting and concerns over self-defense, but by panic that the government will use this crisis to forcibly remove gun rights. I know there is a general distrust of the government no matter which party is in charge, since gun control is always at the forefront. Uncertainty can easily turn into panic without positive reassurance, he said. This leads to panic in the general populace. People worry that the government will forcibly take away their gun rights assured by the Constitution, or they panic over the shortage of items that have become necessities in our daily lives. This is not an unfounded fear. Associated Press reported earlier this week that a mayor in Illinois has already signed an executive order purportedly enabling her to ban sale of guns or ammunition. Champaign, Illinois, Mayor Deborah Frank Feining signed the executive order on March 12th. It supposedly allows her not only to ban the sale of weapons, but to also ban the sale of alcohol and gasoline, to cut off access to electricity, gas, and water, and to take possession of private property. You see, guys, this is why we have the Second Amendment. Let me just finish the article here. Earlier this week, the Democratic mayor of New Orleans took a similar step. So we're going to see as this pandemic, this crisis gets worse and worse in the coming days. Today's March 19th. Already, now you're seeing a pattern, especially with mayors of Democratic cities. They're issuing certain things or signing certain executive orders that they think give them the power over certain inalienable rights. You cannot have a power over an inalienable right. So keep that in mind as you go about your day, your week, your preparedness plans. I know everyone's focused on masks and surgical, masks, gloves, glasses, things of that nature, gowns, staying 6 feet away from people, and that's what they're driving in your head. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they're getting ready to take away your rights. And those rights, if this carries on for any length of time, will we ever get them back? And so I'm going to do some more videos where I talk about some of the things I think are going on and some of the scenarios that may play out in the coming days and weeks. But today's, I wanted to put this article at the forefront, and I'll put it in the description box. And if anyone has been out to a local gun store, I have not. I'm in Virginia right now. I do plan on going out. We have one more day of radiation treatment tomorrow, and then we have the weekend off. So I may take some time tomorrow or even Saturday morning to find a local gun store and pay them a visit and see how things are going there, because I'm curious. And right now I'm out of my area of operation. I'm far from home, but I'm stuck here because of a crisis, because of a medical necessity, and I have to be here no matter what. So I have no choice in the matter. Am I prepared? Did I prepare for this trip? Yes, I did. Am I comfortable with everything that I've prepared with? I'm not 100% comfortable because I'm away from my home base, but I'm still fairly comfortable with what I have prepared for this trip. Okay? So think about that, guys, as you are maybe hunkered down in your homes. Think about some of the mayors and the governors around the country and what vitriol has spilled out of their mouths over the last 3 years plus since Donald Trump's been in office, about taking away rights and going against Americans' constitutional rights, going against the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, etc. Um, they are, in my opinion, salivating at this opportunity to take away your rights. That's my opinion, and that's what I think, and that's why you need to get prepared. Anthony, signing off. Take care. Stay ready.